Hola chicos y chicas, ¿cómo están? Espero que estén súper bien. Estoy mirando al productor y verificando que estamos conectados, que estamos en vivo, que estamos transmitiendo en estos momentos. Productor, avísame. Espero que sí. ¿Sí? Gracias, productor. Hola chicos y chicas, ¿cómo están? Feliz día, miércoles 16 de octubre de 2024. Wow, tenemos mucho tiempo que no hacemos en vivo, ¿verdad? Hemos estado subiendo videos tanto al canal principal como al canal secundario, VaneVane TV, pero videos, no en vivos. Y los extrañaba mucho. Me gusta siempre sentarme a conversar con ustedes, a ver sus reacciones. Y bueno, ya estamos aquí nuevamente con los en vivos y sentimos el día de hoy con el productor que este era un video más, mm, o sea, que más iba con la temática de los en vivos, porque básicamente queremos ver las reacciones de ustedes, leerlos a ustedes, más que mi reacción. Entonces, por eso decidimos que este video no iba a ser un video normal, sino en vivo, chicos. Y bueno, y yo feliz porque puedo estar con ustedes. Productor, ¿no quieres saludar a las chicas y chicos que nos están escribiendo en estos momentos? Voy a activar el chat y saludar a Carla Tapia. Un besito hasta México, Carlita.
Ok, hola a todos. Muchas gracias por estar acá en este en vivo.
Gracias a ti, productor, por estar ayudándonos el día de hoy desde la parte técnica del video, controlando los comentarios y vas a estar poniendo encuestas durante todo el video, ¿verdad? Encuestas, encuestas, encuestas. Un besito para Richard Rocabado, que nos escribe desde Bolivia. Doris Criollo dice actualización de caso. Sí, estamos actualizando el caso de Madeline Soto, haciéndole un seguimiento y el día de hoy vamos a escuchar por primera vez un interrogatorio de Jennifer Soto, la madre de Madeline Soto. Vamos a ver su reacción porque es una entrevista que fue grabada por los detectives y los detectives publicaron esa entrevista. Entonces, por fin vamos a poder ver la reacción de Jennifer Soto. Miren, yo durante todo este tiempo que he presentado el caso y que hemos hecho el seguimiento del caso desde febrero de este año, siempre he mantenido esa como duda, al igual que ustedes, sobre el tema de, ¿sabía Jennifer Soto de lo que estaba pasando con Stephen Stern y su hija? Porque siempre nos dio esa como duda, como sospecha, ¿verdad? Bueno, pero siempre quise pensar lo mejor de esta madre. Yo decía, no, tiene que estar sufriendo, a pesar de que muchas personas en los comentarios decían, no sentimos que su reacción sea una reacción real. Siento que decían los comentarios por montones. Sentimos que está fingiendo. Yo siempre me mantuve muy discreta y traté de darle el beneficio de la duda a Jennifer Soto diciendo puede ser que esté en shock, no sabemos eh, cómo es su personalidad, cada persona vive un trauma de una manera distinta, pero esta entrevista, chicos, hizo que muchas de mis dudas quedaran aclaradas y vamos a escuchar a los detectives al final de la entrevista diciéndole claramente lo que piensan de Jennifer Soto, ¿ok? Besitos Nayeli Estrada, dice que nos extrañaba en los en vivos. Besitos Nati Pozo. Saludos hasta Ibarra, Ecuador. Magigi dice, la mamá sí sabía, para mí siempre supo. Eso dice Magigi, ¿ok, Magigi? Al final vamos a ver si estás en lo correcto o no. Nayeli dice, bueno, que extrañaba los en vivos. Yo también los extrañaba muchísimo. Este tipo de formato es completamente distinto, ¿verdad, productor? A los videos normales. Cuando nos sentamos a grabar videos normales, es, es otra vibra.
Sí,
Ah,
sí, te permite interactuar, te permite ser más natural.
exacto. Si nos equivocamos, no pasa nada.
Ah, También tratamos de ser correctos, pero sí un poco más relajado.
Más relajado, más como que si estuviéramos en estos momentos sentados con ustedes conversando entre amigos. Entonces, eso es lo bonito de los en vivos. Así que muchas gracias a todas las personas que apoyan este tipo de contenido de transmisión. Estamos en vivo, chicos, en vivo. Los últimos videos han sido videos ya pregrabados que he estado subiendo al canal. Em, Doris Criollo dice, Vane, no te pierdas. Te cuento, Doris, que tenemos un segundo canal, VaneVane TV. Síguenos por ahí, por favor. En ese canal estoy subiendo videos constantemente, sobre todo en estas 2 últimas semanas, ¿verdad, productor? Hemos estado ahí dándole a ese canal. Entonces, también me puedes ver por allá, por acá. Entonces, no es que estaba tan perdida, ¿ah? Puede ser que me encuentres ahí en el otro canal. Y Mila acaba de venir. Ok, chicos, miren, ¿qué tal si comenzamos ya con el en vivo, con la transmisión, con la entrevista, les parece? ¿Por qué? Porque es una entrevista larga. Tengo que decirles que esta entrevista realmente es una entrevista que dura 2 horas y 50 minutos. Casi 3 horas, chicas, casi 3 horas. Pero bueno, la hemos revisado con el productor una y otra vez y la hemos tratado de comprimir y poner las partes más relevantes, que consideramos más relevantes de la entrevista, de Jennifer Soto. Esta entrevista tengo que decirles que, antes de ponérselas, que se llevó a cabo el día viernes 1 de marzo de 2024. Recordemos, chicos, Madeline Soto desaparece el lunes 26 de febrero. ¿Ok? Ella desaparece un día después de celebrar su cumpleaños. Ella celebra su cumpleaños el día, déjenme poner la imagen de la pequeña. Ella celebra su cumpleaños el día domingo 25 de febrero, su cumpleaños número 13. El día lunes 26 de febrero ella desaparece, la reportan como desaparecida su mamá, y da varias entrevistas a medios de comunicación, ¿verdad? El día martes sigue dando entrevistas a los medios de comunicación, pero ya desde el día miércoles 28 de febrero ya nosotros sabíamos porque la oficina del sheriff detiene al padrastro de Madeline porque le encuentran en el celular imágenes que lo comprometían a él. eh, men- Le encuentran imágenes de él abusando de la pequeña, ¿ya? Entonces, él queda detenido, pero no es acusado por la desaparición, sino por el crimen de tener imágenes de niños en su celular. Recién el día viernes los detectives estaban ya desesperados y van y citan a la madre de Madeline, a la señora Jennifer Soto, la citan para hablar con ella, ¿por qué? Porque la intención, y ustedes van a ver durante toda la entrevista, la intención de ellos es que ella les dé una información sobre la relación que ella mantenía con Stephen Stern, cuál era ver la actitud de ella en esos momentos, día viernes de la desaparición, ¿ok? Ver cuál era su actitud hacia Stephen Stern. Y creo que el objetivo principal, y ustedes lo van a notar al final de la entrevista, era saber dónde estaba el cuerpo de Madeline Soto. Cuando la mamá entra a la entrevista, ustedes van a ver la hora, ya a esa hora todavía no se había encontrado el cuerpo de Madeline. Madeline es encontrada ese mismo día, viernes 1 de marzo, a las 4:30 de la tarde. Y ustedes van a ver al final de la entrevista qué hora eran cuando la entrevista termina. Entonces, se van a dar cuenta de que toda la entrevista se lleva a cabo con la intención de que Jennifer Soto diga si sabe algo sobre el paradero de su hija. Ahora sí, haciendo este resumen, vámonos con la entrevista, chicos. Lo he dividido en 4 partes, ¿ok? Vamos con la parte 1 de la entrevista, a la que yo la he llamado la parte de la relación entre Stephen Stern y Jennifer Soto. Parte 1. Miren, 12:45, revisen la cámara. 12:46 comienza la entrevista. Día 1 de marzo del 2024. Veamos cuál es la actitud de Jennifer Soto. Ok, se la ve una mujer que está preocupada, está cabizbaja, tiene sus hombros hacia adelante, está con un hoodie como el mío. Cambia las almohadas de un lado para el otro. Y en unos segundos van a entrar Los detectives. Ahí están los detectives.
030288.
030288 es la clave. Y ahí le preguntan si es su cumpleaños.
Is that a birthday?
My birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
My birthday is tomorrow.
Mañana el cumpleaños de ella.
Right.
Today's the
Imagínense.
first. I didn't even know.
Llora porque se da cuenta de que su cumpleaños es mañana y su hija está desaparecida.
This is the worst birthday ever.
No se le entiende mucho lo que dice. Esa es la parte que a muchas personas les ha llamado la atención, la forma en la que se acurruca a ella misma. Ese detective es el detective en Kevin y es el que va a conducir toda la entrevista.
That way they can get that going so we can get it back to you before we're out here. We don't keep it from you.
That was okay.
So you said about 9 o'clock on Monday you wake up.
Yeah. I wake up. I have a doctor's appointment. I leave sometime between 9:30 and 9:45. And I head over there. It's blood work appointment. The appointment's for 10:15, but they take a while to see me.
Where was your appointment at?
LabCorp. And do you want me to tell you exactly which one?
Sure.
Está llorando,
It's on my
¿verdad?
phone.
When we get it back, we'll.
Comienza a reírse.
It's. You need to Google it. It's the LabCorp
Me llamó la
across
atención.
the street. What else has he
Ese
been lying to me
cambio
about?
drástico de emociones.
I know he's like a master liar and manipulator because he's done it to his parents, and he's told me and shown me
Ahí comienza a
the
hablar
lies
mal
he's
de
done to his
Stefan.
parents. But I don't know why I never thought, not me.
The lies are about money. They're about where he's at, what he's doing, like what's he
Yeah, all that.
to his parents.
Yeah, he's stolen money from his parents. They used to have a few $1,000s hidden in like a closet for emergency fund kind of thing. And during COVID, he stole, like, he wanted RC cars. See, if he wants something, he's gonna get it. No matter what. So, he wanted RC vehicles, the remote control cars. Fancy ones. They were a few $100s. And I'm poor. I know I can't afford it. And he's showing up at home with these things. And I asked him, where are you getting the money from? Because we don't have this money. He goes, oh, my dad. And I said, your dad gave you money? He goes, no, I took some from his closet. And I was like they have an emergency stash? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, he's gonna notice money's missing. And he's like, no, he won't. It's so much money in there, he won't notice at all. I've confirmed with Chris later on that he did notice money.
Chris
but
es
he
el
never
papá
asked
de
his
Stefan
son.
Stern. Chris, así se llama el papá de Stefan.
But I let him know, yeah, he was robbing you and just buying himself toys. He's also lied. Most recently, he lied to his parents about where he would be. He told them he would be at his friend's house playing video or board games or something like that, but in reality, he came all the way to Kissimmee to hang out with us.
Okay. But you guys were together Wednesday? After all the interviews, did he stay Wednesday? Would you? I know
Yes.
we had some detectives go meet you guys Wednesday, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Were you guys in the house together until detectives came?
Yes.
What kind of happened after detectives came?
Miren cómo cambia de posición, cómo cruza las piernas.
See, I feel like
tiene.
everything starts to get blurry.
Respira
Oh, I
profundo.
get it. Trust me. We've been in this
just because-
office for like 3 days straight.
Yeah, so I just don't remember what day I had conversation with you guys.
Tuesday night, Orange County detectives came out there because I ended up coming out Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember seeing me or not that night.
Okay.
That was the first night we were at the apartment into the nighttime.
Yeah, is that when you guys shut down the house for forensics?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell
So
us about that.
okay. So earlier that day, I think Detective Hunt came, or somebody came, and asked Stefan for his cell phone. If he would willingly give it up so that they can look at it, or if they would need a warrant. And I remember him saying, should I have asked a warrant? Should I have... And I'm like, no, if you've got nothing to hide, give him your fucking phone. And I think we hung out in the house for a little bit, and then when you guys came in the evening, and you guys told us to wait outside, and we waited in my car, he started getting very anxious and very panicky, going, I want my phone back. I want my phone back. And I said, listen, at this point, it's their phone. It's theirs for fucking ever. I don't give a shit. We will buy you a
Recién
new phone.
comenzamos
It
el
doesn't
en
matter
vivo,
anymore. Whatever
Romy.
they need, they
Recién
need.
lo comenzamos.
Like, let them look at it. And he's like, I just want my phone back. And I'm just like, are you trying to make yourself more suspicious? Because, like, if you were to go demand your phone back right now, that would look suspicious as fuck. Like, what are you doing? I'm thinking he's just getting impatient because he's bored and wants to play on his phone. And at one point, he takes my phone to start playing with it. I give it up, and I said, here, play on my phone. Have fun. Because I think from my phone, he was trying to log into his emails, but he couldn't. Because you need like 2-factor authentication from your own phone.
Ujú.
And I'm just like, what are you trying to look at? And he's like, oh, my shipments, my packages. He's addicted to buying shit. That's another thing. Me and his dad couldn't figure out where Stefan was getting money from to buy stuff since he's been unemployed the last 2 months, but he's constantly buying himself packages, buying himself things off of Amazon, buying himself things off the line.
Is this stuff you can confirm, or you think he's doing
O sea, no
this?
trabajaba y compraba cosas. ¿Dónde sacaba el
Buying
dinero? No
packages.
sabemos.
I can confirm because I am linked to his Amazon account.
Okay.
And his parents can confirm whatever UPS packages or whatever he's getting at home. But I'm linked to his Amazon account. If you guys have my phone, you'll see whatever shipment. I think most recently I did like birthday party. If you see birthday party stuff, that was me. But everything else, him. He's constantly buying stuff and he doesn't have money. He keeps saying he's got money in his savings,
Sigue
but me and
diciendo el
his
tema
dad
de que
called
no tiene
bullshit
dinero y
because he hasn't
procuraba
had.
cosas.
When he lived with us,
Okay.
he was struggling. His dad was helping him pay his bills, paying his rent, paying his gas, paying his insurance. Stefan was helping us, supporting us by buying food and all that stuff. But I don't know what he did with the rest of his money. And I don't know where he's getting money from now.
O sea, el papá le pagaba la
Ok.
renta, la gasolina, el seguro, todo le pagaba el papá.
You were telling us that he was trying to log into
Oh, he's
his
trying.
emails.
So he's
on
trying to
your
log
phone.
into his emails on his phone. And I said,
Y esta mujer seguía con...
2-factor authentication, you can't do anything. You're just gonna have to wait till you get your phone back.
Okay.
What else? We waited in the car. I think at this point when I noticed that forensics was locking down the house and you guys said we couldn't come back, I told him to call his dad. Because I had a feeling y'all knew something and it was gonna come down on him. And I'm just like, they're focusing on the wrong person. They have the wrong person. In my head, I'm convinced you guys are that you had the wrong person. I wanted to think that he was good.
Hay una contradicción, quería
We
pensar
call
que
his
él era
dad.
bueno.
We tell his dad to come
Anteriormente
down
estuve
here.
hablando
His
mal
dad
de
to
él.
come down here and met us at a hotel. That was another thing. I don't have that much money.
Okay.
I live off of disability. I couldn't afford to put us up on a hotel. Like when you guys said that we couldn't return, I was like, I didn't know where to go. I was trying to think if any family member would have a spare room or anything like that, and not that could take the three of us. When I say three of us, I mean him and the dog. And I know at my mom's house, we wouldn't have been welcome. My mom does not like Stefan. She's never liked Stefan.
Mira, la mamá de ella no le caía bien a Stefan.
So I knew that
Y sin
our only
embargo,
option
ella
was to go to a
seguía con
hotel, but I
Stefan.
couldn't afford it. So we called Chris, and Chris met us at our hotel by Disney,
Okay.
off of Western Way, and that's where we went. We got there pretty late. We checked in. I used the restroom, and I was getting ready for bed, or getting like
Así es, Nancy.
laying down in
Parker.
bed probably around
Sí, ¿no?
3:30, 3:45 in the morning, and I fell asleep. Stefan was already asleep at this point. I met Stefan
En 2017 dice que lo conoció. Pero se hicieron novios en 2018.
in 2017.
Ujú.
We both worked for Eco Homes, a real estate company. I did appointments, and he worked in the office doing like warranty work. We met as coworkers. We became really good friends. We were best friends for like a year. And then eventually I asked him if he wanted to hook up, and he said sure.
Ahí no se escucha porque hay partes en las que ponen mudo el video porque hablan de cosas delicadas. Entonces no vamos a poder escuchar esas partes.
Kissimmee.
And did you guys live together in 17?
Entonces desde el 2018 ya
He
comenzaron a vivir
technically lived at his
juntos.
parents' house, but he was staying at my house all the time.
Okay. Same house you're in now or a different house?
Wait, I take it back. In 2017, he wasn't staying over my house. It started in 2018 when we started.
En
hooking
2018
up,
comenzaron a dormir juntos, como
he
tú
started
dices.
sleeping over my house.
Okay.
And what were we
2018.
Was that in the current
Yes.
6
house
años
you live in
atrás.
now?
Yes.
¿Cuántos
Okay.
años tenía la niña?
Have
7.
you, how long have you lived in that house?
7 años tenía Madeline en ese entonces. Ok.
On and off, because at one point we moved close to where his parents live right now. They live in Northport, Florida,
Yeah.
Sarasota County. I lived in Port Charlotte, which is Charlotte County, the county right next door. We had an apartment there for like 6 to 8 months. We moved down there because, again, Stefan was promised a job and that fell through. So we supported ourselves in this tiny apartment for a little while until I ran out of funds.
Do you remember what year that was?
2020.
So when did you live in Port Charlotte in 2020?
I don't remember what month I moved in, but I remember moving out in November.
Of 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was. He's not a very clean guy. He's kind of a little hoarder and a collector. So just my house was always a mess and never the way that I wanted it to look. Or the clutter just gave me anxiety. So
O sea, él era hacía un desastre en la casa y sin embargo ella lo tenía en su casa. Eso es lo que dice ahí.
Until December.
Por eso lo mandó a dormir arriba, en un
And then he
cuarto.
moved to Northport, Florida with his parents, but they had promised him a job, but that fell through. So we were in the process of trying to get him to come back up here, to get his job back at Disney, and for him to move back into the house for a little bit. And I'm not sure long term. I know
Es que ellos estaban
temporarily I was
separados.
willing
En
to take
diciembre se
something back.
separaron
Was that
y
something
vivía
at a
con sus
convenience
papás.
for him because
Y
you?
recién estaba regresando otra vez a quedarse a dormir en la casa de ella.
A little bit of both. We missed him.
Nosotros los
And I
extrañábamos.
wanted
O sea,
to help
que
him out.
supuestamente Maddie también
Make it
extrañaba a
easy,
su
like give
padrastro.
him a place, like a base to start at, and then for him to start looking for something else afterwards, on his own. But yeah.
Talk a lot? Is she a secretive teenager? What is like your kind of day to day with her?
I would have said a normal relationship. I asked, she would tell me. I didn't think she was hiding anything from me. I didn't think she was lying to me about anything, but obviously she had secrets.
I mean, the hindsight. I mean, all the stuff you found out over the past couple of days. We're taking that out of the picture. Your relationship with her.
Okay.
Like not
I would say-
looking back saying, okay, I was being lied to.
Okay.
Like up until you found out some things that you've been told. You guys had an open communication relationship. You talk about
Everything.
life.
Yeah. If
What-
anything, she was a little bit more open with Stefan because she told him about a boy she had a crush on,
Okay.
and that his name was, and she described him, and Stefan's like, "Are you aware that she has a crush on a boy?" I said, "No." He's like, "Yeah, she told me his name, that he's tall, and that she likes his fluffy hair."
When was this? Do you remember when this conversation happened?
Within the last week sometime, but I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Like within, so we saw, so within a week of that Sunday. I'm not sure if she had told him via phone chat. It must have been via phone, like phone convert, like we don't FaceTime, we Google Meet.
Suji dice su
Sí,
lenguaje
sí,
no
sí,
version of
verbal
FaceTime, yeah.
es que se está protegiendo las piernas, las
So
tiene
we would
cruzadas, las
Google
manos
Meet
tocándose,
often.
no está erguida, se nota nerviosa porque está
Sometimes when
jugando
we get
con las
home from school,
manos,
just
pero habla con
and just talk all
seguridad.
day, or sometimes not even talk all day. We would just bullshit. I would be doing my own thing. He would be doing. We're just keeping each other company on the phone. And I think in one of those conversations, she told him that she had a crush on a boy. But I checked those text messages with that boy, and nothing seemed weird either. So.
But how did he? I mean, it could be new. I mean, she sees a guy at school. She thinks it's attractive. He shows her attention. I mean, she's young. How did he take it? Was he like? And I want you to think back before you know things you know now. Like, did he seem concerned about her? Did he seem excited for her? Like she's starting to, be a kid and have crushes and everything else. Like,
He seemed happy for her.
Okay.
He's like, "Yeah, did you hear this? This is super cute." And I was like, "Oh." She hadn't told me, and I wondered. I'm like, why didn't she tell me? Why did she tell him and not me? Like, I want to know who she got a crush on. But maybe it's because I told her she had a rule. She wasn't allowed to date for a few years
Okay.
until like I think I had said 16 or something like that. But I didn't want her dating.
So then your relationship with her was open. Obviously, she's a child. She's not going to share everything.
Yeah.
With him, it seems like she has a very open relationship with him. They talk, they hang out. So the living situation.
Esta parte es
With
importante.
them, I'll be honest, seems weird. It's weird to me. She's got a bedroom downstairs. What's kind of the mindset or the thought process, the communication you've had with Stefan about, she's not going to sleep in her bed, but you guys are going to go sleep in the guest bedroom?
So originally, the plan was that all three of us were gonna sleep in my bed together.
And I'm not just saying Sunday. I mean, like,
I had a rule. She wasn't allowed to sleep in his bedroom at all. Like, no sleepovers, no nothing. For a very long time. For years.
since we're pausing,
Yeah.
what brought that on? Was that like a request of his? Like, can we sleep in the same bed? Request of hers? Or you just saying?
Me being super paranoid, not to trust anyone. For the longest life, even though he treated her well, I still looked at him on, like side eye, like making sure, like, is that normal? Is this okay? That looks normal. Okay. I wanted to make sure that nothing was happening and that I was missing something, but I was. But
Es una pausa muy larga.
he never requested. I'm sorry. Repeat the question then.
So I guess you said like you had a rule. Like obviously we know now they've slept in the same bedroom together and everything else. I'm sure you're questioning a lot of things that like you haven't been told or that are going on. The thought process of them sleeping in the same bedroom caused you to say that you had a rule for the longest time where they couldn't.
Yeah.
I have a son. He's a lot younger than her. He's 4. But I guess if I was dating somebody or had somebody over, I would never establish, and this is just me, a rule. He can't sleep in the bed with her, or she's not going to be. It wouldn't even be a thought process for me. So that's why I asked, because I wouldn't think of it even as an option.
Yeah.
So when you say you had a rule, I guess I'm asking what prompted the rule.
Sleepovers before.
Exacto, Adriana. Adriana dice,
Like, you wanna watch
esta es la
movies
parte
and
donde te digo
snacks,
que
can we
piensa
do that?
demasiado la
I'm like, no.
respuesta.
We can all watch movies down here together.
Así
We can all
es.
sleep down here together. Up until June all the time. So we were always, she would sleep in the middle, I would sleep on this side, he would sleep on the other side.
O sea, Maddie dormía
It
en
wasn't
medio.
until June that he got his own bedroom and I sent him upstairs. That's where the requests for sleepovers started.
Okay.
And I started telling her
Sleepovers.
no. I'm not
Pijamadas.
comfortable with that. But eventually at some point, like we really want to watch, I forgot what movie it was. They really wanted to watch something and I was really tired. And I said, okay, fine, go ahead, but this can't happen often. And yeah, I allowed her to go upstairs and sleep with him. But honestly, I think I can count on one hand how many times that's happened, and it hasn't been many times that I've allowed her to have a supper party with him, to be alone in a bed with him. I'm usually around all the time. Up until 2 weeks ago, you know, I was pretty much at home all the time living on disability.
Okay.
If I wasn't at home, just, you know, I was substitute teaching, but I was substitute teaching primarily at her school or at the school close by, but I'd make sure I'd get out around the same time and I'd get out in time to pick her up and take her. So she was with me pretty much all the time when she wasn't at school.
When he's not there, where does she sleep?
With me.
She never sleeps in her room?
No, always
Okay.
with me.
Ok. Voy a hacer una pausa en esta parte 1. Como les dije, he dividido esta entrevista en 4 partes. O sea, vamos a hacer un resumen. En esta parte, o sea, por lo menos a mí, lo que más me impactó fue confirmar que ella permitía que su hija fuera a dormir, que su hija durmiera con su novio, o sea, con el novio de ella, con su padrastro en este caso, sola en un cuarto. Pero no solamente eso, sino que decía, al principio dormíamos los 3, pero no es que dormían los 3 y Jennifer dormía en medio, su hija de este lado y su novio de este otro lado. No, la que dormía en medio era Madeline. Y ya mismo vamos a ver en el siguiente video que el detective le sigue preguntando sobre justamente cómo dormían todos los 3, si se abrazaban. Y es sorprendente ver que cómo ella admite esa relación, no sé ustedes, chicos, cuéntenme en los comentarios, ¿ustedes permitirían que su hijo o hija, si es que tienen, duerman en la misma cama que no su papá en este caso, porque no es el padre biológico de la niña, sino el novio, su nuevo novio, como quien dice? En este caso, el padrastro de la niña o del niño. ¿Ustedes permitirían eso? Porque la niña no quiere dormir sola. No sé, pero al detective le parece muy extraño, raro, weird. Y ella dice como que, ay, pero no pasaba nada porque yo siempre estaba en casa, siempre. Ella dice que ella vivía, o sea, cobraba el cheque por discapacidad, no trabajaba. Entonces siempre estaba en casa, siempre la cuidaba. Tengan eso en claro, eso en mente. Ella lo dice, nadie lo está inventando. Ella lo dice, yo siempre estaba en casa. Recién hace 2 semanas es que ella comenzó a salir de casa porque había conseguido un nuevo trabajo. Recién hace 2 semanas. ¿Y qué más dice? Dice que Madeline tenía un cuarto abajo, pero ella nunca dormía en ese cuarto de abajo. Dormía siempre con ella. Y que la noche de la desaparición ella tenía dolor de cabeza y por eso mandó a su hija a dormir sola con Stephen Stern en un dormitorio de arriba. Fue el día que murió, que la pequeña perdió la vida. Entonces, vámonos con la segunda parte y aquí vamos a escuchar más detalles de esta extraña y retorcida convivencia.
He victimized her. He ruined her entire life from childhood until now. I think that there's probably some sense of guilt. And my fear is that sense of guilt is causing you to not want to assist in the location of her, not because you're a bad person, but because there's that sense of guilt that what was happening under your roof, and now by her being found brings that all to your plate, and it doesn't.
Oh no. If I knew anything, I would so tell you. I want to even if she's dead, because you guys tell me your suspicions, but I'm not going to believe it until I have her body.
So there are things, and the reason I say these things, and again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but the reason I say these things is there's been a lot of things you've said, and a lot of things I've kind of researched between the Fox 35 story, between your initial statement to the police. A lot of things have changed. The initial statement to the police was you watched her get dressed, you watched her leave, you knew exactly what she was wearing.
Can I tell you
Absolutely.
my thought process on
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
or where I came from with that? I was handed this form, and I'm like, where do I start? What do I write? And somebody said, tell them what you saw. And so I started with I saw, and then I wrote out what I wrote out.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until later I was like, wait, I didn't see her. I assumed that I saw her. I assumed that I heard her, but I didn't. In reality, I didn't see her. I only saw him, and I heard something in the kitchen, but I don't know who that was.
Which we've talked about today. But I guess there's other concerns. Right? You are nervous. The police have showed you their hand. They said, Stefan, we want your phone. Stefan, we want to talk to you. We are going to lock down your residence. You can't go back inside.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I don't care if it's the love of my life sitting next to me. I don't care if it's maternal grandma. If the police come and take my mom's phone and my son's disappearance, I'm not going to offer my mom a lawyer. That's
Concuerdo.
nuts to me.
Mm-hmm.
That to me shows you prioritizing Steph, because at that point you became more worried about him being falsely accused than any. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Whether or not that's what you felt, does that make sense? People having lawyers is their constitutional right. That is a thing that everybody is afforded. But for somebody who's going through what you are going through, to offer him a lawyer leads me to believe that there may have been a conversation, there may have been knowledge, or there may have been some inclination that you had, whether it be his involvement, her location, or something to where in your mind there's guilt.
I promise you,
Because you offering him a lawyer is very weird.
I know.
Ella le ofreció un abogado a él.
That was still
Esa parte de
me
ahí es la que también no
under
me
the
cuadra.
assumption that I think at one point you guys interviewed me, and when you guys showed me the picture of her, I believed the sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he had done anything evil to her. I'm like, no, what if he did this stuff?
Pausa. Esa parte de ahí, cuando la escuché, no, o sea, tuve que repetirla como 10 veces, porque dije, no puede ser, o sea, que me lo estoy imaginando o lo que estoy escuchando es cierto. Ella dice, chicos, a ella los oficiales le enseñaron una foto que era explícita, que no había dudas de lo que estaba sucediendo entre Stefan y la pequeña Mari. No había dudas. Entonces, ella sabiendo eso, ya ve la foto, ¿verdad? ¿Qué es lo que hace ella? Habla con el papá de Stefan, el señor Chris, y les dice, consíganle un abogado a Stefan. O sea, la policía comparte con ella información delicada para que no tiene que decírsela a nadie más, al sospechoso, porque se puede dar a la fuga. Y en lugar de ella ponerse en el plan de, bueno, no quiero ver a este tipo, una, y dos, necesito recordar cualquier información que él me haya dado que me lleve a dar con el paradero de mi hija. Pero no. Enseguida su mente fue hay que proteger a Stefan. Escuchemos que exactamente eso es lo que les dice el abogado. ¿Y por qué puse pausa? Me estaba yendo por las ramas. Ella dice, sí, ustedes me enseñaron la foto Y yo pensé, ok, pero yo no creía que él hiciera algo, o sea, algo malvado, como quitarle la vida a mi hija. O sea que para ella, en su mente, la maldad es quitarle la vida a su hija, pero la victimización, lo que ustedes ya saben, el abuso, la niña, eso para ella no es una maldad, no es malvado. Eso es lo que da a entender en esa frase que ella dice. Y más adelante, los investigadores se lo dicen en la cara. Resumen, que son sus propias palabras. Escuchemos.
But what if she's still missing out there? What if somebody took her? I still wanted to believe I believed him. I believed his whole story. So I was just like, I kept repeating that part. I'm just like, what if she did get dropped off? What if she got abducted? What if she's missing? But that was me assuming that you guys had the wrong guy. I wanted to think he was a good guy still, but clearly he's not. After everything you guys have told me and have shown me, I know he's the worst person on this face of the earth.
You know
right
that now. We know he's a piece of shit now.
You know,
But you didn't know that then.
I didn't.
Then you offered a guy who the police suspected of kidnapping, abducting, assisting the disappearance. Offered him a lawyer. And then we don't have to roundtable that. You went back to what you just said is the sex stuff is fine.
It's not fine.
Hold on. I know every relationship is different, and I know everybody's family is different. I won't ask, but going back on, has he expressed interest in? I'll use the word weird. I'm not going to shame anybody for what they like. Different sexual pleasures, different sexual experiences, different kinks that involve things you weren't comfortable with.
The only thing he's ever expressed to me was like anal.
Okay.
He had an anal kink and like butts.
Okay.
But that was something I was never comfortable with or doing, and I let him know that like that's something.
That's fine. You guys slept in the same bed together. Stephen was a big portion of your life at one point. Stephen was a big portion of your life at one point. And this is not me coming at you as a person or a bad person, because shit happens in the past. In the past, the past. We can't change the past. Has he ever expressed to you? Never.
Never.
Has he ever made statements about made you feel different?
No.
Okay. When you guys slept in the same bed together, in the middle, did you ever wake up and find them cuddling? Did you ever wake up and find them closer than you thought they should be?
They would snuggle, yeah.
Okay.
But we all snuggle. I didn't think that was abnormal.
So if you guys are sleeping in the same bed and she's in the center, you've woken up and they're snuggling, they're under the same blanket, they're not under the same blanket.
No.
Es sorprendente escucharla.
She's got her own blanket. He's got her
Spooning
own.
for what? What is snuggling to you? Because to me, snuggling, spooning. Big spoon, little spoon.
He would lay down like this, and she would be right here in the nook.
Okay.
How
do you guys sleep? You guys sleep clothed, unclothed? I sleep clothed.
Yeah.
Shirt, pants, pajama sets.
Yes.
Everybody?
I sleep in like my everyday clothes.
Okay.
On pajamas or baggy t-shirts and shorts.
Okay.
And Stephen would sleep with his t-shirt or boxers, sometimes with his pants on.
El novio dormía
But he
en
didn't have
boxer.
pajamas.
Okay. So they would snuggle.
Ella no dice.
Sometimes him being in his boxers. You would wake up and she'd be in the nook of his arm, essentially in
Dormía
a
en
cuddling
boxer al lado de
position.
la hija.
And you never found that weird.
No.
Okay. Again, you and I may find things different. Why? And I don't want you to look back on it, because now you know you victimized her for a long time, right? Under your roof. With you home, most likely, because you said you're always home. You just got this job. You've been living off disability. I know the Kissimmee Police Department has showed you pictures. I know they've verbally explained to you some pictures. I can tell you that today, we are still downloading his Google Drives. We are still going through his social medias, his cloud-based servers, and everything else. And we can now piece back her victimization in your house under your care to 2020.
Wow. Imagínense, desde 2020 tenían hasta ese entonces información. Comenzaron los abusos, 2020. La niña tenía en ese entonces 9 añitos, ¿verdad? Lo que pueden confirmar con
So when I
fotos y videos.
ask, they
Creo que
woke up
desde
cuddling,
antes.
did you find things suspicious? Did you have an open relationship? Did he talk to you? Has he made inappropriate statements? It's almost like cheating, right? Like, have you ever been cheated on? Okay. Somebody can only cheat on somebody for so long until they fuck up, or until something comes out, or somebody says something, right? So if we go back to 2020, we're looking at a minimum of 3.5 years.
Gracias por el super chat,
3.5
Sam.
years where
Grace.
I'm sure you guys are sexually active.
Gracias por el super chat.
Yes. So for 3.5 years under your care in your house, not only was he being sexually active with you, he had a sexual relationship.
Ahí comienza a llorar, ¿sí ven? Y se comienza a refregar las piernas.
And I know it's an emotional thing, and I know it sucks to hear, but where I'm coming from is it seems like something that you can't hide forever. You guys live in a small space, close quarters, you sleep in the same bed, you guys all talk, you guys all share things, you're an observant person for the most part, I assume. Outside of taking medications and going to sleep, it seems very difficult. A lot of grown-ass adults can't hide an affair with somebody who doesn't live with them, let alone somebody who does live with them. So at a certain point, I do believe you became aware of what was going on.
No.
Teresa dice
And
que
when I
odia
say
cuando
that,
fingen el llanto.
doesn't mean you're in trouble. It doesn't
Muchas
change.
personas, al igual que Teresa, piensan lo
I
mismo.
know, but
But I do
Ha
believe
fingido el
that a
llanto de
reasonable
ella.
person, and I consider you a reasonable person, right? Do you think you're a reasonable person?
yes.
Would be aware that under her roof, sexual
Besito,
relationship,
Miriam.
I had no idea.
the videos, the text messages, the images, they're all documented forever.
Ujú.
This has been an ongoing thing. And at her age, I think she probably thought they were in a relationship. She probably thought they were in love because he her male attention, right? She just started liking boys, right? She just got a crush. Up until then, her crush. At the same time, you guys are sleeping in the same bed together. You guys are all cohabitating. She's not sleeping in her room. But you felt the need to establish a rule that they couldn't sleep in the same room. But when you established that rule, for 3 years, she's already been dating him, essentially.
I had
Whether
no
that's
idea.
legal or not.
I had no idea.
So I truthfully believe, and this is my belief, this isn't, I'm not speaking for other detectives, I'm not speaking for the sheriff's office, the state police department, or any other agency I've said. This is Kevin's belief. I believe that you became aware of their sexual relationship. I think at a certain point throughout this relationship, you became aware of it. And for whatever reason, your reasons are your reasons, whether it was discussed that it would stop, whether it was discussed how it would go, that you feel some sense of guilt. A lot of the news statements you've given kind of, again, my opinion only, I don't speak for anybody else, whether it's in this room or out of this room, bother me. It seems like some of your emotion, up until this room, I think some of the emotion in this room is sincere. I think a lot of it's because I'm being an asshole. I'm telling you things you don't want to hear that shouldn't be said out loud. But when you talk to the news, when you talk to deputies, it feels, based on my experience in this job, that it's not sincere. I feel like some of your sadness is not real sadness. I feel like when you gave the interview with Fox 35, it was not sincere. Looking at that video one time, I didn't feel like your cries were sincere. And I'm not saying that because you're a bad person. I feel like sometimes people struggle to show real emotion when they're aware of what the truth is. So it has to be fake. This is your demise for the past, let's say, 5 years, right? But her going missing, her disappearance, if you have knowledge of how it happened, where it happened, an inclination, that emotion's not going to feel sincere because you're already aware of what happened.
I would.
It's almost becomes
If
a
I
lie
knew,
at that point.
if I knew anything, I promise you, I would tell you. Like, I am willing to take a lie detector test, whatever the fuck you want, but I don't know anything. He's never mentioned anything. I've never seen any signs. I tried watching her like a hawk. I thought I was doing a good job, but I wasn't. I was oblivious to everything. 4 years?
Minimum. That's just how that far back the cloud goes. And I find it hard to believe for me that you were so worried about how many pills she took at night, but not where she slept or what relationship she was. His interest in her.
I thought we were all safe. I thought because in that he hadn't shown me anything so far. Like
Lucía
everything
dice,
seems
amamos a
fine.
ese
Like,
detective
he-
sincero y directo.
Like he treated her like
he treats you. In his mind.
It's so fucking disgusting.
So now he's in jail because of what we found on his phone, not because somebody came forward and reported that he
Ujú.
was abused.
No, I know.
She's not old enough to consent. She's not old enough to have a thought process to even want anything that was happening to her. It's abuse. So he's in jail for that, but something caused what happened, right? We certainly murder, because we can call it a murder. She didn't die naturally. She didn't overdose. She didn't have a heart attack.
Saluditos,
We certainly
Daniela Covarrubias.
murder on Monday. Something had to cause that. He's been having unrestricted sexual activity for a long time. He's getting what he wants from her, probably from you, and who knows whoever else, right?
Preguntan si a
So it's
Jenn
not
le han
like he
puesto
woke up
cargos. No le han
or
puesto
went to bed
cargos.
Sunday
No.
and he was like, you know what?
El
I'm
único
done with
acusado
this,
hasta ahora es
but I'm gonna kill her.
Estefan. Ella no.
Something happened. People don't just wake up and like, you know what? They leave people, they break up with people, but usually things cause people to snap. Now what? You know what? And I'm in trouble, or I feel like I'm gonna, or him being out.
Esta parte es importante.
She's pregnant.
That's what questions last night.
Pausa. Aquí, en el minuto, a ver, 14 y 12. La entrevista comenzó 12 y 45, ¿verdad? O sea que alrededor de hora y media después de hablar tanto con el detective, recién es en este momento de la entrevista, a la mitad de la entrevista, cuando recién el detective quiere tocar el tema del móvil, el móvil del crimen. Y dice, y bueno, menciona la palabra embarazo. ¿Por qué? Porque se le preguntó bastante a Jennifer Soto cómo era el periodo de la niña y si tenían pruebas de embarazo, porque una prueba de embarazo había desaparecido de la casa de ella. Entonces, ahí hay una presunción de que Maddie podría haber estado embarazada. Y la foto, ya vamos a ver la foto del cumpleaños. Muchas personas han apuntado a que la pequeña estaba embarazada. ¿Podría comprobarse eso? Peritos han dado su pericia y han dicho que, bueno, no pueden encontrar en sí un feto como tal, pero lo que pueden encontrar a través del cuerpo es extrayéndole el útero, por ejemplo, de la niña y analizando en el útero células que indicarían que hubo un embarazo o en el momento que que muere, ella estaba embarazada. ¿Por qué? Porque los investigadores dicen, esto venía pasando durante tantos años, a la vista o no de la madre, de las narices de la madre, en la misma casa. ¿Por qué de pronto este hombre decide quitarle la vida a Mari? Si Mari estaba embarazada, había una prueba. El niño sería una prueba del delito cometido. Y ese podría ser el miedo de él. Que Mari contara la verdad. Sigamos escuchando.
Believe when we started talking about her period.
I was told that her and her friend, and granted, I'm male, never had a period, but that somebody found it weird that they were no longer on the same cycle. Could be different because she's a teenage girl. Could be that she missed her period. Have you ever found a pregnancy test at home that wasn't yours?
I have 2 underneath the bathroom sink, but I haven't seen if they're still there or not.
Okay. But you haven't seen any used ones in the trash?
No.
Their relationship hasn't changed?
No.
Okay. So what do you think happened Sunday? Other than him killing her, what do you think made him snap?
I don't know. Theories, I keep hearing
Tell me your theories, because here's the deal. We don't go home until she's found.
No, I know.
So what are your theories?
What I've heard is, what if she upset him and threatened to tell me and say that she was going to tell me, and he needed to shut that down. That's the only thing.
What do you think?
I don't want to believe he killed her. But from what you guys are telling me, he must have killed her Sunday night and snuck her body out in the morning. That photo you guys showed me of her slept in the car.
¿Qué piensas tú, productor, de la reacción de la mamá?
¿De toda la entrevista o de lo...?
De la parte que más te ha impactado, que más te ha llamado la atención.
A ver, por haber visto primera vez el video, pienso que, digamos, tal vez no calma porque trata de mostrar emoción, pero tal vez la forma en la que cuenta las cosas. Trato de ponerme en su posición y no sé si no podría contarla como ella lo está contando.
Rara su actitud, ¿verdad?
His story was so like every detail was so believable.
Y se comienza otra vez a sobar las piernas.
What about that day in the car when you offered him a lawyer? Did you disclose anything to you there that made you feel like, oh fuck, he needs a lawyer?
No. He kept like
Pandita dice Van, es obvio que
he kept acting like he didn't know what was
Pandita,
happening, and I'm like,
Sevilla,
don't you see
Romero.
forensics? Don't you see they took your phone? Like, something's happening. Like, I think they're gonna pin this on you. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, they have the wrong guy. Like, they're just honing in on the last person who saw her. But no, you guys knew more.
You never said, what did you do?
I've never asked him any of that. I still, even up until when we got here to the police station, I was convinced that he hadn't done anything to her at all.
Because of him or because of not wanting to believe she's deceased?
Because
Exacto,
of him.
Yulitza.
Because I thought
Dice,
he
pero
was a
qué
good
madre
guy.
permita que duerman
So
con el
up until
padrastro y
this
en
morning,
boxer.
you still
Exacto.
think that it's not?
No.
You're talking
Jennifer
about the other
Soto.
day.
Up until
Para
What
ella
week
eso era
took you?
normal.
yes.
Okay.
I forgot what day of the week that was.
So we're still going through his phone.
Nayeli Estrada dice, estaría
His
interesante
all
ver la
socials.
opinión de una profesional en lenguaje
From day back
corporal.
to 2020.
Así es.
Based on the videos, it appears that was the start of the victimization. Okay, are we going to find anything in his phone?
Los detectives, uno de ellos es experto en lenguaje corporal y luego hace su apreciación.
Has there ever been
de
a
esa
request
entrevista.
for the two of you to participate in sexual activity with him?
No.
Regardless of you saying no or yes.
No, he's never asked that.
Okay. If we find pictures like that, is that going to surprise you? Like if I'm in his Google Drive, if I have a sex crimes detective, a computer person look at his phone, and they tell me, hey Kevin, I found a picture engaged in sexual activity or borderline sexual activity, is that going to surprise you?
Yes, because that doesn't exist.
Okay. At any time during the course of your relationship, has he expressed that he has ever had sex with a child?
No. not a child, but when he told me when he was in high school, he graduated high school like later, like older than 18.
Okay.
He dated somebody younger than 18. I think she was 15. But I don't know how old he was, 19, 20. But he was an older kid in high school. He graduated late. But he had a really young girlfriend. Her name was Kendall. And I thought that was weird. I was like, that's a little too young. He goes, no, it's fine. We were in high school. Everything was normal. Her parents loved me. Blah, 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 blah.
Ok, ahí escuchamos la parte número 2 de la entrevista, a la que, bueno, yo la llamé como la parte en donde el detective dice todo lo que nosotros sentíamos de la interacción, de la convivencia de Jennifer Soto, Madeline Soto y Stephen Stern. Le dice todo en su cara. Y es increíble porque cuando recién comienza o sea, los investigadores en sus apuntes, porque el oficial Kevin, al final de la entrevista, él hace su reporte. Y en este reporte, por aquí yo les anoté lo que quería mencionarles. En ese reporte, él dice, Soto no muestra el mismo nivel de emoción o cuidado hacia la victimización de Mari por Stefan, como si lo hace por la desaparición. Otro comentario que escribe el detective Kevin es la actitud, como ellos dicen, fake, falsa, como fingida de Jennifer Soto. Dicen que sus llantos se ven reales cuando ella siente que la pueden culpar de algo a ella. En ese momento ella sí se la ve llorando realmente. Pero en otras partes se la ve fingida cuando, por ejemplo, hablan de algo horrible que le ha pasado a su hija. Ella llora, pero es un llanto y es tratando de mirarlos a ellos para ver si el llanto que ella está en este momento proporcionándoles a ellos, los convence a ellos. Eso es lo que el investigador Kevin, que es el que estaba, Kevin O'Malley, que es el que estaba hablando la mayor parte de la entrevista, da en su reporte. ¿Ya? Vamos con la tercera parte de la entrevista. Si ya pensábamos que lo habíamos visto todo, la tercera parte nos va a dejar todavía más sorprendidos. Y se pone a llorar muchísimo. Ahí se la ve llorando de verdad. Dicen que, pero es justamente porque ella siente que la van a acusar de algo.
What has your communication been like with his father since this?
Está hablando de Chris Stern.
I've limited contact over the last 2 days because I know too much and I don't want to tell them anything.
You don't want to tell them what we've told you, or you don't want to tell them what you know?
No, I don't want to tell them what you guys have told me. I don't want to share any. It's so difficult because I've known them for just as long as I've known Stefan. They feel like absolute shit right now. I know that they kind of got into a fight because Chris started, are you sure we know our son? Are you sure we know our son? I don't think we know him at all. The mom was defending him, but now with everything, with the evidence on the phone coming out, they know. They know he's a piece of shit.
We've talked to his dad, and his dad knows as much as you know. He knows his son's a rapist. He knows his son's a murderer. He's talked to us. He's been very open with wanting to help in any way he can. Whether that's technological, whether that's verbal.
Yeah, he even had, I was with him when he turned in his knife to you guys. He remembered he had a knife on him and gave it to you guys. I thought that was...
Have you talked to Chris about Stefan needing a lawyer?
Yeah.
When?
Miren que cómo piensa, cuándo fue que le...
The photos.
So we showed you photos of Stefan raping. And
No.
the first thought you had is to ask his father if he should get a lawyer?
No. I saw a picture.
Todo eso ahí está bloqueado, no podemos escuchar porque es material sensible de la victimización de Maddie. Pero ahí lo que está diciendo es que, bueno, que ella vio la foto, ¿sí?
But I kept thinking, they're going...
Y sigue diciendo lo mismo.
I don't know why I can't tell you why my brain kept thinking, no, he didn't kill her. Not that he didn't kill her, but she's still missing, she's still out there, she was taken. Yes, he's done this to her, and that's not okay. But I swore she was still, I felt in my body she was still alive, she was still out there. I told Chris to get him a lawyer because I felt like you guys were chasing the wrong person. But you weren't, you're not.
We showed you a picture.
Eli dice, no entiendo por qué no la
Picture you
detienen por
saw, she was
encubrimiento.
Giving a blowjob to a grown-ass man who's... And you told his dad to get him a lawyer. Missing, right? Now you... But then you just thought she was missing. And we were showing you our investigative lead.
Claro, le mostraban cosas
Not
que...
consensual. Whether she wants to do it or not, that is not consensual.
Exacto.
And you prioritized him again. You prioritized him by offering him or telling his dad to get him a lawyer. Not, what the fuck did he do? Not, hey, we need to figure out what happened. No, let's protect Stefan.
I was in shock.
No, it's not shock. That is your natural instinct to protect Stefan. Okay? And if that's naturally how you react, that's fine. But that goes into what I've been telling you this whole conversation is I don't believe a lot of the things you're saying, and I don't believe a lot of the things you say you weren't aware of. And that is because you've now shown me twice that your first reaction, no matter what you were told or shown, missing and we're seizing the cell phone, or we're showing you pictures of her giving him a blowjob, your first reaction is to protect Stefan. So now, ordered by Stefan, you're aware of this, you were shown pictures of this, you were shown pictures of her body in his car with a seatbelt on, right? We have played it out for you. Now you're in a stage where he's in jail, you know she's passed away, and now you can feel emotion, right? Until that point, when you were shown that she was deceased, your continued first reaction is to protect this guy.
Exacto.
You just said, I only saw a picture of him, whatever your... And your first reaction was, fuck. Oh my... Victimized? No. She's being abused? No. It's
Mira cómo se empieza a
Stefan
rascar la
needs a
cabeza y
lawyer.
se gira.
Who the fuck cares if we think he killed her? He's...
I don't know why I said that.
But that's the problem. You don't know why. So the reaction in your mind is you are continuously protecting this guy. So why do I sit here and believe that you don't? Because right now you know Stefan killed her. You know Stefan's been raping her. You know without her body, can he be charged with murder?
I don't know.
Exactly. So you don't know what we can do. Do I think we can charge him with murder? It's not up to me. Should he be charged with murder? Yes.
Please.
Does your role in her life lead this to happen? I'll be honest. Yes.
I know.
Since she was a child, since her victimization started, it occurred under your roof and you acted like it didn't exist. And knowing the victimization, knowing how ongoing it is, knowing that you saw a picture of it, not just us telling you, not me and him saying, hey, listen, he's being, I think they had a bad relationship. They showed you a fucking picture of it. And you still protected him.
Ujú.
So how am I supposed to not think that the thought process in your mind is until she's found, Stefan can't be charged with murder? Because we both now know that you don't want him to be charged with murder because you want him to have a lawyer.
No, I don't.
Part of the blowjob.
That was
oh,
then.
He can't be charged with murder.
That was then. Everything that you guys have shown me since then and have showed me that he's
so we had to show you a
this
picture
whole
of her dead in a car for you to finally not take his side?
La dejó callada. Ahí la dejó callada.
Do you not see where I'm coming from? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick here,
No,
but it makes absolutely no sense that your name is Stefan.
I don't know.
Where does your mind go? Stefan.
Exacto.
There should have been no doubt in your mind when they showed you that picture of what he was doing to you, that you had any care in the world other than I want that motherfucker to die. Whether you believe in the death penalty or not, he protected him. So now we're talking about her disappearance and where her
Ruby
body
dice,
is.
esta mujer no
Why do
quería
I
su
believe
hija.
that you're still not protecting him? Because you say so? Because you can't explain why you protect him. You can't explain what is inside of you that makes you protect Stefan. And you may never be able to explain it. But eventually we're going to have to figure it out because you haven't convinced me that you're still not protecting Stefan. I got all these people out here searching. I haven't seen my own kid in days because I'm looking. I truthfully believe that I can't go home and see my kid is because you're protecting. I can't go because you're people sitting in the woods just waiting for me to tell them where to go, but I can't because I think you're in trouble.
I don't care about him. I want him to go to jail. I want the worst thing possible to happen to him in jail. I know what happens to predators in jail. Like, I'm ready for that. Like, please. I don't give a fuck about him. I'm not protecting him.
But you knew he was a predator when you got shown the picture. And then you text his dad that he needs a lawyer and you hope that he invoked, was the words I was told.
What?
You hope that he didn't talk to us. He needs a lawyer.
No.
All over a picture. You didn't care. You didn't care then. Oh, whether sex isn't important to you, that wasn't anything close.
I knew what I saw was
He was
terrible.
a predator right then and there. That's the day you found out he was a predator.
Yeah.
Yes. And after you found out he was a predator, did you not say he needed a lawyer?
I did.
So why today, Friday at almost 3 o'clock, 5 days into the disappearance, 2 days since you probably found out, or 1 day since you found out she was murdered, do I believe you that you're not telling me where he went, or that he didn't disclose to you where she was, or what caused this to happen is, listen, I know you know I've been doing whatever, or listen, this fucking happened. How do I believe that that didn't happen when everything you've shown me is protect Stefan? Now, once have you shown priority in this conversation, in this investigation? You're coming here looking for her. You reported her missing. Trouble for not doing that. But outside of you reporting her missing, and I may be wrong, I haven't been involved in all aspects of it, but you have not shown me one bit that you prioritize her over him. And that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Not because we're working our asses off for your family, not because we have people out there sweating their asses off for your family, but because I feel like all I care about is your care is to make sure Stefan doesn't get held fucking accountable.
Well, I don't care anymore.
Anymore.
Because we're being assholes, because I'm not being nice.
No.
But up until Thursday, it was okay that she gave him a blowjob. No big deal. Get a lawyer.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't okay. I was honestly, I saw that and I was in shock. And I don't know why my first reaction was to tell him to get a lawyer, but I saw that and I was in shock and I was just like, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe.
It's easy to believe it now. We showed you pictures of it. You can't deny it anymore. The sex was okay. The murder's not. At least that makes sense.
None of that's okay.
Miren cómo se...
I want to know what it is. And not because I think you're a bad parent, not because I think you're a bad person. dead or alive, she's missing. Her body is out there. Her body needs to be recovered so she can have a proper burial, a proper funeral. She needs to be laid to rest. Your family needs to be able to mourn her, and we need that information. That is life. That is not life of the law. That's not life of the sheriff's office. That is common decency. That is what she deserves. That is what you deserve. That is what your family deserves. But the longer that happens, the longer it takes us to find her, the less likely that's going to be for you guys. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I truly am. But deep down, you haven't showed me that I am.
I don't know what I need to show you.
Prioritize her over Stephen. Think of places he would have dumped her body. Think of places he went, things you talked about, things you've discussed, whether it's this week, last week. Don't put it in your mind that he's been victimizing you, or don't put in your mind that I'm being a dick. And what can I think about to find out where Stephen put her? You know more about where he goes, what he's doing, or what he would do than you want to realize. That's natural, not because I'm telling you, but because that's natural. I have best friends. I know more about them than I think I know about them. I just need to sit down and think about it. So I need you to sit down and think about it. Whether you need a minute when we're not in this room, whether you want to do it with us in this room, we need to leave here with an idea of where we can go look for. That is one thing we can agree on.
I've sent you the list of the stores that he may have stopped at, didn't stop at. The only outdoorsy places I can think of that we've ever gone to that he would know about would be Shingle Creek or Kissimmee Trail. I don't know if he knows where Lake Toho is, but that could be another option.
Because you think it's a wooded area? Because it's a place you guys have talked about together?
Because it's a wooded area with a lake, with gators. Like, we haven't discussed anything. This topic, I never asked him if he
Los investigadores estaban seguros que ella sabía.
I never thought he could have. I always assumed the best in him. But I didn't ask him directly. I didn't even suspect. Not until you guys showed me that picture upstairs. We're here.
What do you think happened? Monday to now. You know she's deceased. We showed you pictures that she's deceased. We know that she was probably deceased Sunday into Monday. You didn't see her Monday morning.
I still want to believe she's deceased. I know you showed me pictures, but
for the purpose of this conversation, I need you to believe it because I need you to figure it out. I need you to tell me what you think happened to her.
I think he killed her that night.
How?
I don't know. Could it probably be possible that he drugged her? Could he have choked her? I just don't know how you kill someone and don't leave a mess or don't leave evidence, or I mean, was there a mess? Was there evidence? I haven't gone upstairs. I don't know what you guys have, I barely went into the house today, so I don't know what.
I need to know what you think happened.
Mari dice, le dio puros sitios alejados de donde la encontraron. Yo vivo en la zona donde ella fue encontrada y no tiene nada que ver con esos lugares. Así es. Gracias por tu aporte, Mari.
So he had access
le dio nunca el lugar.
Benzos and I think Lunesta.
What are those? I'm not familiar with that.
Benzodiazepines are anxiety medications which relax you and can make you sleepy.
Okay.
And Lunesta, I think, is a sleeping medication, like for insomnia. So I don't know if it's possible he gave her something and she was drugged. In those photos that you showed me where you're saying she's dead, maybe she was drugged. But if she is dead and it was done upstairs, I could just only imagine that he choked her. I don't know how else you would kill someone and not leave a mess.
How do you think he got her out?
I have no idea, because roommates come in and out of the house at any given point in the morning and we don't know their schedules. They can come in at any time. You guys showed me a picture, I think, of him or her in the car at 7:30 in the morning. my roommate left the house. She's the one who leaves the earliest. She left at 7:45. So like, what if he had waited a little longer? She would have caught him with like carrying a body out of the house. How did he do that without being caught or seen? That's what I don't understand, because like, did you guys check and see if any of my neighbors have Ring cameras? Any? Nothing?
I don't know what data we've gotten from them, but at this point I need to know what you think happened to her. I don't need you to ask us what we found.
Okay.
What we found has happened.
Wow. Bueno, ahí lo que querían saber ella era si es que tenían cámaras de los vecinos, porque claro, los vecinos pueden tener las cámaras en las puertas y ver si es que a qué hora mismo sacó el cuerpo de Madeline, eh, porque es raro que él haya sacado, porque no es que vivían los tres solos, en esa casa vivían dos compañeras más de habitación, de roommates, ¿cómo es? Compañeras de cuarto. Y 7:45 una salió y a las 7:30 supuestamente Stefan sacó el cuerpo de Mari, porque es cuando se ve la foto donde Mari está acostada en el asiento del pasajero, pero sin moverse, que ahí es que sospechan los investigadores que ella ya iba sin vida. Entonces, ¿cómo le hizo? Todo raro. Y Stefan no dice nada. O sea, él ha mantenido el silencio durante todo este tiempo. No dice nada. Vamos a ver la última parte que dura 8 minutos y con eso terminaríamos la entrevista de Jennifer Soto. Parte 4, perdón, 4. ¿Qué hora es en esa entrevista? Ya son las 3:05 de la entrevista, ya mismo termina la entrevista. Comenzó 12:45. Están cansados, ella está cansada, ya no habla nada. El productor les acaba de subir otra encuesta más a los comentarios, chicas.
Did you bring it inside? Did you leave it in the car? After?
I think he left everything was in the car.
Did you ever go look at his car? To verify that he changed his tire?
I don't think I did.
Except by the time he would have got back from the tire, you were gone, right?
Yeah.
What you told us?
Yeah.
And then she was reported missing
Yeah.
during that time.
Yeah.
You did so many things and you never questioned it.
I didn't suspect him.
How can we believe some of the stuff that you're telling us, or believe that you don't know?
I don't know how to say. I mean, I guess I'm stupid and gullible and very trustworthy, but I didn't think he'd be the type to do anything like this. I didn't doubt.
But you knew he was vindictive. You described him as not trustworthy with his family. You described instances where you document where he was lying to his family, lying to you, lying to others.
Lying to his family, yes, but lying to me.
You discussed that he wasn't that good of a person. You had to
Claro, ella dijo que él era mentiroso, egoísta, manipulador y sin embargo decía,
it wasn't this
que era
family.
bueno.
You're not describing him in a positive light at all. So this trust, this caring, all this stuff makes no sense because you, regardless of the victimization, describe him as a good person. He's stealing from his parents, right?
But he never stole from me.
You guys have no money, but all he's doing is ordering things, right? He's buying himself things. He's not. You described him as a selfish thief.
Exacto.
You even called it a robbery, that he robbed his parents. So you're trusting this dude who you're describing as untrustworthy.
But I thought he was.
Esta mujer.
What happened to her? Where did you ask that?
Claro, es verdad. Ella dice, todo lo que él me decía yo le creía. Entonces se contradice, porque dice, todo lo que él me decía de lo que pasó el día que la fue a dejar a la niña, a la escuela, ella le creía todo según ella. Pero luego, cuando comenzó la entrevista, pudimos escuchar cómo ella se refería a él. Decía que él era una persona que mentía, que le mentía a sus padres, que le robaba dinero a sus padres, o sea, a los padres de él, y se compraba cosas, juguetes caros, que conseguía siempre lo que se proponía lo conseguía, que no sabían de dónde sacaba el dinero él. Entonces, me estás diciendo que tú sabes, porque comienzas la entrevista hablando mal de él. Sabes todas esas cosas y sin embargo, cuando tu hija se pierde, decides creerle todo lo que él dice y no preguntarle absolutamente nada o no, ni siquiera no preguntarle, sino que, me fui a cambiar los neumáticos. ¿Sabes qué? Voy a ir a revisar el carro para verificar que lo que él me dice es cierto. ¿Por qué? Porque es un mentiroso y yo lo sé que es un mentiroso. Entonces, ¿sí se dan cuenta todas las contradicciones de Jennifer Soto?
I can't fathom that. I can't wrap my head around
I think I only asked him if he took her to school. When I called him and told him to come to the office, I asked him, like, you dropped her off at school, right? Because she never made it. And he said, yeah. And I was like, she never made it. Where did you drop her off?
You guys sat in your car Tuesday night when I was out there. I was out there at least 4 hours. Just you two in that car.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you guys did not have any conversations about this. There's no way. A reasonable person would have been questioning him. You were the last person with her. What the hell happened this morning? You never did that in that car.
I remember being on my phone. He was on my phone for a little bit. I know I was medicated. And I was just zoning out. I wasn't thinking anything of anything. I never asked him. Just asking him that one time to me was, if he took her to school, that was enough answer for me. I don't know, I just wanted to think. Not think the worst, I guess? I don't know. But I just didn't think he did anything. Now I know. But then I didn't. I was still believing everything he was telling me.
Juvenile robbery suspects utilize the excuse of, I was high on bars, I took Xanax, I was blacked out. Right? Every juvenile robbery suspect you interview, I was, in your words, medicated, in their words, high.
Nayeli dice, las que somos mamás sabemos que por muy cansadas que estés, siempre checas a tus hijos y estás al pendiente de ellos.
When you say you're medicated, I can't think of an amount of medication that will numb you so bad to numb the fact that the investigation is occurring right in front of your face for your missing. So being medicated is just an excuse to avoid answering why you didn't discuss with him what happened. It minimizes your guys' interaction by saying you were not fully coherent. But there's a person I know who can sit in a car and watch a bunch of detectives and crime scene investigators and everybody else search her house, seize her house, and be so numb that somehow is not ringing bells, is not overcoming the power of this little medication. There's no way. The human body will overcome that in a big situation. You didn't take enough medication to numb you of the reality of what was occurring.
Exacto.
I mean,
la excusa de ella es que como ella estaba medicada con sus pastillas de la depresión, decía que por eso no prestaba atención. Pero es verdad lo que dice el detective.
In the forefront of your mind, you weren't numb. Just like these robbery kids weren't blacked out. They weren't high enough to not remember the robbery. They just don't want to talk about it.
No, it wasn't clicking. It didn't click to me. Like you guys telling me like it wasn't as obvious, like this and that. I still believed the story he had told me, that when we were sitting in the car, I still fully believed everything he had told me. I didn't doubt him. I really thought you guys were going after the wrong guy. I'm like, they're wasting time. The real suspect is out there. She's being sex trafficked. That was my biggest fear, is that she was being sex trafficked. I didn't think that she would actually be dead.
But she thought enough to get him a lawyer.
I really thought you guys were going after the wrong guy.
That has been and will be our biggest priority.
Him getting arrested for victimizing her was an accident. We only discovered that she was a victim because we took his phone.
And I'm like so happy that happened, because if not, this would have continued to keep happening.
Well, it wouldn't have, because he killed her on Monday.
Claro.
Talking about if she had been found. Found alive.
¿Qué hora es? 3:24 ya. Ya mismo termina la entrevista. Miren lo que va a pasar ahí. Ya se quedan, ella está tratando de buscar lugares en donde les pueda decir a los investigadores que vayan a buscar, lugares que pueda, como que Stefan pudo haber ido a dejar el cuerpo de Mari. Está buscando en el mapa de Google. Pero no pasa mucho tiempo cuando tocan la puerta. Y yo estoy casi segura, chicos, que cuando tocan la puerta es para decirle a los investigadores que encontraron el cuerpo de Madeline. Porque más o menos es las 3:30 de la tarde cuando tocan la puerta. Y oficialmente el cuerpo de Mari fue encontrado a las 4:30 en Hickory Tree Road.
I was driven here, but my dad followed behind. I think you guys said my car might be ready.
We'll verify that one. It's not your only opportunity. Your only opportunity phase was you saying you
Ahí
swear.
tocaron la puerta,
Yeah.
3:27.
That's the only opportunity.
Casi
Obviously,
segura
numerous
que
detectives' phone numbers, you have
era para
numerous
decirles que habían
agencies' phone
encontrado.
numbers,
Ya
things
no
like that.
necesitaban
So
seguir
realistically, there will be other
escuchando,
options for you to ask
interrogando, que ya
questions.
tenían lo que querían.
Okay.
Y por eso es que
I don't want you to think
abruptamente
I was
terminan la
purposely an
entrevista.
asshole to you.
No, I know. You're
Alright.
doing your job.
Like I told you, like the sheriffs have probably reached out. You've been in communication with numerous people here. Those are my opinions and my opinions only. They don't reflect Sheriff Mina, the chief of PD, Kyle, any other detectives who talked to you. All right. I personally don't know.
El detective vuelve a decirle
We
que
will be here all
él no le
weekend.
cree.
We will be here all night. My only hope is that you truthfully did not lie to us. You truthfully don't know where she was, and that you truthfully did not know what was happening to her.
Miren, ahí lo llaman también a él. Estoy casi segura que ahí fue el momento en el que les dijeron que habían encontrado algo. Pasa bastante tiempo, la dejan un buen rato a ella sentada ahí en la sala y luego simplemente le dicen que se vaya. Miren, pasa el tiempo, Sigue pasando el tiempo. Se queda varios minutos sola en la sala. Y de ahí ya llegan los investigadores. Ahí se puso a llorar.
So here's where we're at right now.
Pero se puso a llorar
Your
justo
car
antes de que
is
ellos
obviously
llegaran.
gonna be
¿Sí se
released
dieron
to you,
cuenta?
the Nissan. It
Como que
requires
escuchó
us
los
to do
pasos
some
de los
paperwork
investigadores y
because we did
comenzó.
log it into our system.
I don't think I'm returning to my townhouse ever again. I want to. I want to be staying with my sister.
Ok. Y termina la entrevista a las 3:38 del 1 de marzo del 2024. 3:38. Y recordemos, Mari fue encontrada a 4:30, el cuerpo de Mari fue encontrado a las 4:30 de la tarde, o sea, casi una hora después de que la entrevista se acabara. Entonces es por lo que yo pienso que el cuerpo de Mari fue encontrado. Ella nunca dijo nada, ella hasta el último momento dijo que ella no sabía absolutamente nada, pero lo dijo el detective, el investigador. Em, Esta entrevista lo que nos hizo dar cuenta a todos, yo honestamente, chicos, yo siempre di el beneficio de la duda hacia Jennifer Soto. Siempre que hablaba era como que sí, tenía sea, ciertas reacciones se me hacían extrañas en ella, pero trataba de justificarla, de decir, no, es una madre preocupada, seguramente está en shock. Eso es la justificación que yo trataba de darle a Jennifer Soto. Pero después de ver esta entrevista, si tenía dudas, créanlo que ahorita está todo más claro que el agua clarita, no el agua de charco. Entonces, Jennifer Soto no ha sido acusada de nada, ella está libre, y lo que dicen es que la van a usar como testigo y que por eso es que no la han acusado de nada, porque quieren que ella declare en contra de este hombre. Em, no sabemos qué es lo que están haciendo los investigadores, hay que esperar, pero la sospecha que nos queda a todos es que Maddie, déjenme poner la imagen de Maddie, el día de su cumpleaños, ahí donde ustedes la pueden ver con ese vestidito, todos dicen que Maddie era embarazada. Y ese sería el móvil del crimen, era deshacerse de Maddie y al mismo tiempo de lo que Stefan podría llamar un problema en el futuro, porque el niño que nacería o niña sería la prueba clave e indudable que sí, de los abusos de este hombre hacia su hijastra, ¿no? Es terrible, hay que esperar más información. Vamos a ver qué nuevas noticias libera la oficina del sheriff este mes de octubre relacionado al caso de Madeline Soto. Entonces, cualquier información, cualquier nueva entrevista, voy a traerla así mismo aquí al canal, traducida al español, y vamos a irla discutiendo, chicos. Una encuesta que subió el productor fue, ¿estás de acuerdo con las preguntas que hizo el detective en la entrevista? El 90% dijo que sí y el 9% dijo que no, encuesta con 129 votos. Así que la mayoría de personas, el 90%, está de acuerdo con la entrevista con las preguntas que hizo el detective Kevin O'Malley. Bueno, chicos, repito, Jennifer Soto no está siendo acusada de nada. No ha dado ninguna entrevista más, aunque varios medios de comunicación han tratado de buscarla. Ella no quiere hablar. Dicen que está muy mal de salud, que su salud mental se ha visto en estos últimos meses. em, o sea, está mal mentalmente. Entonces vamos a ver qué va a pasar con ella, con el juicio de Stefan Stern. Yo lo que quiero saber es algo, y quiero dejar esta como sospecha ahí, latente y en el aire. Y ella menciona bastante el tema de que Stefan sacaba dinero, ¿verdad? Y no sabían de dónde sacaba el dinero. Stefan grababa videos y tomaba fotos de la victimización de Mari. Lo que quiero dejar en el aire es, ¿acaso Stefan vendía este material a otros monstruos, depredadores, y de esa forma él sacaba dinero? Esa es la pregunta que dejó ahí, en el aire. Julia Rivas dice, esa mujer tiene acusada de complicidad. Nayeli dice, vendía fotos y videos. Exacto. Ajá, es lo que yo sospecho. Bueno, chicos, esta transmisión fue larguísima. Muchísimas gracias en serio por haberme acompañado durante toda la transmisión, haber estado aquí presente. Como les dije, yo estaba pensando en hacer un video, no en este formato de en vivo, pero hablando con el productor me dijo, la verdad es que este tiene más un formato de en vivo para que puedas hablar con la audiencia y retroalimentar el video, ¿verdad? No es como sentarme aquí y simplemente dar mi opinión. Entonces, ha sido un verdadero gusto poder leer sus comentarios, comentarios muy respetuosos que ustedes han dejado. Sé que hay mucho coraje en torno a este caso. Créanlo, chicos, que con cada información que sale del caso de Madeline Soto, yo también me lleno de mucho coraje de ver que nadie defendió a Madeline, le fallaron todos, le falló su familia, su madre, la escuela, todos. N- Nadie protegió a la pequeña, o sea, daba señales y gritos que no sé cómo todos hicieron de la vista gorda. Imagínense una niña que siendo feliz, alegre, contenta, de la noche a la mañana comenzara a visitar a la psiquiatra, a la psicóloga, que comenzara a tener problemas para expresarse, que estuviera deprimida. O sea, en serio, nadie pudo unir cabos. O sea, dejando fuera a la mamá, porque parece que la mamá vivía en el país de las maravillas, pero dejando fuera a la mamá, el resto de personas, el papá de Maddie, la familia paterna, la familia materna, la abuela, las tías, las profesoras, los maestros. O sea, nadie se dio cuenta. O sea, eso es lo que da rabia. Eso es lo que da rabia. Y bueno, también Carmina dice, hay resultado de la autopsia. Te cuento que los resultados están sellados, no se ha revelado esa información y todos queremos saber los resultados porque a partir de eso vamos a saber si Mari estaba o no estaba embarazada. Hasta ahorita es una presunción, una hipótesis, una sospecha de que ese podría haber sido el móvil, pero no está confirmado. Carmina. Ay, yo estoy. No, sí, sí se está viendo el chat. Ok. Entonces, sí, chicos, muchísimas gracias. Ay, mi Tai Gutiérrez, muchísimas gracias por ese super chat. En serio, muchísimas gracias. Un besito hasta Argentina. Mila, el productor y yo. Mila, se mandaron un super chat, Mila. Gracias por apoyar el canal, por apoyar los en vivos. Em, Ruth dice, la abuela la vi muy tranquila cuando le preguntaron por Maddie. Te cuento que no he visto a la abuela. Nunca vi la entrevista de la abuela. Berta dice, saludos, Vanes, gracias por el caso de hoy. Gracias a ti por estar presente. Mayra Elisa Rodríguez dice, llegué tarde, saludos, Vanes, me encantan tus videos, sigue narrando como solo tú sabes, siempre respetando a las víctimas. Muchísimas gracias, mi Mayra. Y bueno, chicos, esta semana no les pude subir el martes de misterio a tiempo, pero voy a ver si me pongo a editar para subírselos atrasaditos el día viernes, ¿ok? Pero bueno, gracias chicos por estar presente el día de hoy. Si ustedes tienen algún tema para un en vivo que quieran que presente, lo pueden dejar en los comentarios o también escribirme al correo que se los voy a dejar en la cajita de descripciones. Denle like a este video, compartan, comenten. Si es que quieren ver más videos de transmisiones, o sea, quieren que se complementen a los videos que ya de por sí subo en el canal. Si quieren más de estos videitos, chicos, me lo hacen saber dándole like al video, compartiendo, comentando. Así el productor hace como que un sondeo mensual y dice, Vanessa, tenemos que hacer más en vivos. Muchísimas gracias, chicos, por habernos acompañado el día de hoy. Nos vemos cuando ustedes quieran. Ustedes son los que deciden. Cuídense mucho, pasen bonito y no se olviden también de seguirme en mi otro canal, VaneVane TV, en donde subo mis videos blogs, videos de belleza, conversando, chit chat, arréglate conmigo. Por ahí nos estamos viendo. Un canal más personal. Ok, chicas, pasen bonito. Cuídense mucho. Chao.